Minneapolis is a war zone, but the federal government has absolutely ramped up its actions against these lawless lunatics. We saw Don Lemon. I've got a video on that later. Storming a church and committing a federal crime along with dozens and dozens of other people who are like, yeah, oh, it was only like 2 months ago when some lunatic dressed in all black went into a church and took out some kids. We're going to go into a church and it's just no big deal, right? I'm just Don, international newsreader Don Lemon. I'm doing journalism. Well, leave a like on the fact if you're, I've got a video with more details later, but he's being charged. Also, the number of illegals right now that have been rounded up in Minneapolis so far, take a guess. 10,000. They're going to flip Minneapolis back to red. If you like that, leave a like on the video. Now, we have a combination ICE protester / Somali scammer who dragged a journalist behind his car. And guess where he's from? Well, the car's registration placed back to one of the Somali daycare scamming places. Let's get into this story. This is a combination platter of great news to start on Monday, a Monday full of videos. I do want to remind you guys, our live stream home is Rumble, of course. And I prefer everyone download the Rumble app and at least watch our live stream there at 2 Eastern every day. But if you're like, I'm a YouTube only viewer, I don't want to download another app, I really, really want to hit 20,000 subscribers on Quartering Live. If you, after this video, you just search Quartering Live on Rumble or use a link in the description, please help us reach 20,000 subscribers there. I think you really love the show. We're live Monday through Thursday at 2 Eastern, Friday at 1 Eastern. You can always watch the show after, later. We've got Hannah Claire, Melanie Mack, Luke Rodowski, and guests coming in. Really, really trying to get to 20,000 subs this week. So hopefully you'll go over there and subscribe as a bit of a favor. Now, wild scene. Somali thieves in Minneapolis steal journalist Nick Sorter's camera and then fled from him by driving down an icy sidewalk with him attached to the car. This is harrowing footage I'm going to show you here.
Hey! What did she just do? She fucking...
This woman stole his camera.
Gosh.
This Somali guy's... So here you have a mob of anti-ICE protesters / pro-Somali scammers, I would guess, on the side of the road.
Took Nick's camera.
They took his camera, and now they're trying to flee. Now watch this.
She just stole Nick's camera.
They're driving on the sidewalk. They could have taken multiple people's lives here, including Nick Sorter. This is the craziest scene that you're going to see out of Minneapolis so far.
Let's get her.
No, get in the camera! You're gonna give her the camera!
Just tell her
Look
to
at
give
this.
him the camera back.
Not in her! Give her the camera!
What happened, Nick?
They just stole my camera.
Right out of your hand while you're in the car?
That's what the fuck you wanted, right?
See this? That's what you wanted, right?
Fuck you wanted, right? That's what you did. Man, listen, motherfucker, you gotta get the fuck up out of here.
What are you going to do about it? Take your mask off, tough guy. If anybody knows this guy, feel free to identify. By the way, immediately after this video was released to X, the FBI responded to it directly and found these 65 IQ morons within an hour. And they are now facing massive, massive charges. This is my favorite F round F find out moment. And just wait, there's more here.
You fucking coward.
Coward?
Motherfucker, you a coward, bitch.
You have to leave.
These are all Somalis.
I can rob you,
Here's a white liberal ICE protester.
motherfucker. Get the
They
fuck
just
up out
stole
of
over
here.
$1,000 worth of
Bitch.
equipment from me.
You
Federal
fucking
crime.
Coward. You a fucking coward,
And
motherfucker.
nobody stepped
Motherfucker, you trying to incite that shit.
What are you going to do about it, tough guy?
in. $1,000 worth of
Yeah,
equipment.
fuck you, fucking bitch.
Did you call that? Did anybody call
Why are
911?
you in this neighborhood?
Have Kevin do it.
Why are you in this neighborhood, right?
You fucking Nazi.
We got it all on video. We're not Nazis.
Man, you fucking Nazi.
We're not Nazis and we're not racist. I condemn Hitler completely.
You a fucking racist, bitch.
I'm not racist. I condemn all
Oh, the
racism.
guy, you a fucking Nazi.
This is what the Somalis were trained in. They were trained in, they use more racism as a shield for all of their various criminal activity. This started when they tried to buy off a jury and got caught for it. They said, "Oh, this is more racism, racism." No.
I condemn all racism.
Why are you here?
We were driving through and we got followed. You guys followed us.
Every one of these are Somalis and white women.
It doesn't matter. We're allowed to be here. It's the United States of America.
No, they
Why do
don't.
we have to leave?
What? They just.
We're not leaving until we get the camera. You want us to leave? Give us the camera. Call your friend. Get the camera back.
They all know who's driving that car, by the way.
And we'll leave.
Who took the camera?
So the racism. By the way, immediately after this, local PD. All right, now I support police, and I understand kind of where they're coming from here, but they tell Nick Sorter, Minneapolis police, basically like, keep it pushing, white boy. That's what they tell him. We don't really care that you were robbed and dragged down the street. Keep it pushing, white boy. Listen to this.
Looking for the car.
This cop should be fired.
But you guys got to do us a favor and stay out of this area.
You got to do us a excuse me. You got to do us a favor and get out of this area. No, they don't. They absolutely do not have to leave that area. This is the United States of America. The Somalis do not get their own autonomous zone. Okay, the same way the Muslims don't get it. All right? And local PD, I get it. They have to be there every day. They have to deal with these people every day. And they just want to go home to their families. But no, Nick Sorter does not have to leave that area.
All right, we don't want anything else escalating to this point again. We got a lot of reports.
Well, we just don't. I mean, I guess what I
It's
don't
a
understand is
felony
like.
versus them just not liking our.
I understand that,
We get
but
attacked and assaulted. By the way, they tried to
I'm
steal
not
my camera
justifying-
earlier, and we're the ones told to leave. Like,
I'm not
that's
justifying what they did, but we're trying to keep the peace at the end.
Oh, I understand what they did, but you guys got to keep it pushing, white boy.
And bottom line is, you guys obviously aren't from the area.
Oh, you aren't from here. They have this again. These cops are so cucked by the Somalis or their police chief or the mayor. Now, maybe deep down they're like, hey, no, you have every right to be here. But this is not inspiring as an American to think that my police would just be telling people, hey, well, this is the Somalis hood. You got to get out of here. Absolutely disgusting.
It's like if I'm a woman and I get raped for wearing tight jeans, and it's like, well, you shouldn't have been there. It's
Okay,
like,
but that's
you
what
know,
we're saying.
well,
That is what they're saying. They're saying, yeah, we know that there was a felony, but you know what? Do us a favor. You leave. No. How about you tell these Somalis to get off the street? How about you go get the one that dragged the reporter behind his car? By the way, immediately after this video went live, the Trump and Kash Patel FBI investigated the Somali theft of Nick Sorter's $1,000 camera in Minneapolis after city police did absolutely nothing. They dragged him down the street, make an arrest, and bring charges. Mayor Fry is complicit. See, Nick Sorter put this out. The FBI said, we're on it. Because you can't depend on local police because they got a stand down order. You know, it's crazy you have to get the FBI to investigate stolen camera because the local PD won't do it. They have a stand down order. Instead of dealing with the actual criminals, the people that are dragging people down the street, they're telling the guy who was robbed, the victim, hey, you should probably keep it pushing, man. Leave a like on the video if you're disgusted by that. By the way, the Somali woman who stole Nick Sorter's camera reportedly has the exact same address as a children's autism center in Minnesota. Now, I can't say unequivocally that children's autism center was one that was at the center of all these fraud investigations, but I can say that hundreds, if not thousands, of these Somali-run autism centers and transport places and daycare places have been committing billions of dollars in fraud. You know, I mean, this is so crazy to me. The address of Nick Sorter's attacker is allegedly a children's autism center. They got the license plate, everything on camera. Here's Crime Watch Minneapolis. Minneapolis Cedar Riverside report of a Jeep vehicle dragging someone. Limited details. The party who was dragged is reportedly with the responders now. Has a hand laceration. Could have been way worse. He could have been sucked under the tires. Not a good look. Minneapolis police chief. Here's the video. The woman's address is a children's autism center. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. And then the left celebrates it. The ugly pig barf agitator knows Nick Sorter got dragged into the street. Top comments to his video online, whining read, LOL. This is so satisfying. This is what the Minneapolis people, you know, this is what the mayor has wrought. This is what the mayor has told these people they're free to do. Meanwhile, the president of the United States and more are now calling for her arrest and deportation. I want to grab this. Ilhan Omar, deport. Yeah, I believe Trump tweeted it this morning. She should be denaturalized and deported. This is scary, scary, scary stuff. And it's like, what exactly is going on in Minneapolis? Right? What exactly? I mean, this is what Mayor Jacob Fry says. This is what Tim Walz has said. Hey, you should keep it pushing. You shouldn't be here. Well, he has the same right to be there as anyone else, if not more, because he's there to document and be doing journalism, while most of these other people are simply out there to do crime. I mean, these people should be charged with attempted murder. There's absolutely no question in my mind. Absolutely. Now you have Mike Davis paying for 2 new cameras for Nick Sorter to replace the one that was stolen by thugs. Absolute page. The backfire has been incredible. I worry about Nick and these people that are on the ground there. You have the police turning on victims. I just ordered new equipment yesterday, but now we're doubling down if these idiots stole Nick's camera. They made a big mistake. All that's gonna happen now is more journalists are gonna flood this state, which is exactly what I want. Get those arrests up to 50,000. That's probably the real number of illegals in that state. They're probably gonna flip it from blue to red with this because there's plenty of speculation about them letting these folks vote. Make sure you keep it locked in here. You subscribe to this channel, but don't forget, after the video, type quartering live in the search if you're a YouTube only viewer and help get us to 20,000 subscribers a day. We've got daily live streams, practically nightly live streams right now because everything's so crazy. Help us reach 20,000. I'll leave a link in the description and we'll talk to you again real soon.